I am Jay and this is the Camden Stitch. Hi, thank you for joining me today. Betsy says hello from her sleeping position. Hello Betsy. There she is. Zero excitement. I thought that what I'd do is, oh by the way, I'm wearing a new jumpsuit, which if you want to hear about, then have a look at my other video which I just posted, sewing triumphs and disasters, and I'll tell you about that there. So I thought what I'd do is to have a little catch up, because I find it really annoying, you know, when vloggers go away for a bit and then they come back and go, oh, I've sewn loads but I haven't got time to tell you and all that. And I thought, oh, you know, I always want to know what they've made. So what I've done is I've got together all my garments that I've sewn sort of since our last vlog, which was like November time. And I'm gonna rattle through a few of them, probably not all of them, because to be honest, because it was winter, there are a few that are just like big snuggly jumpers that I might have made the same pattern of a couple of times, so they're not that thrilling. But the most exciting ones I'm going to tell you about now. Okay, so I say the most exciting ones, we're actually kicking off with one that has been probably my biggest flop. I have not worn it once. I tried it on and it's been hanging up and I've just not wanted to wear it. Friends, I do not know why. There's nothing wrong with this dress. Pattern is V9022. So there is the dress. It has a boat neck, which I stitched with a sort of zigzag stitch. So there's no facings. It did take a little bit of time to cut out, but that's only because I stripe matched it. So I'm using this striped ponte from Textile Express, and it's got these, sorry, from the Textile Centre, and it's got these graded stripes, which I cut so that they go down the centre, and then these sections have these really big pockets which make up sort of part of the skirt, the outer part of the skirt, and I cut the stripes so that they go obviously horizontally there. They've got kind of slightly back wing sleeves. It's just been one of those things that I've never ever wanted to wear. And yeah, I've got a bit of a strange relationship with purple. I love purple on other people. I love it as a colour, and obviously if you know me, you know that I wear bright clothes, and I really like this fabric, but I do find that when I buy purple clothes, I just never tend to pick them up. I never choose to wear them, which I don't know why. And there's something about this silhouette as well. Maybe it's the cocoony type shape, but it's not that I found it kind of unflattering. I didn't find it unflattering, but what I did find is I thought it made me look a bit frumpy. And I don't really know why, but I do know I've never worn this dress and it's going to get donated because it's a really nice dress. It's really well made. I think, did I? Oh no, I didn't blind hem it. I thought I did. But anyway, you know, somebody can get some wear out of it, but not me. On to something that I have got some wear out of, and it is this lovely dress, which I was quite proud of myself because it's my own invention right out of my little mind. And what it is, it's actually the Simple Sew Juliet tie blouse, and it's a pattern for wovens, but it's the most simple pattern you could imagine. Basically I wanted like a loose fitting baby doll dress. I added pockets, so all I did was the line of the blouse comes down like that, and all I did was I just extended the line, and I think I might have, yeah, I think I made the sleeve shorter. The pattern actually has a tie back on it, which I didn't bother putting on because I'm not really keen on ties. I knew I didn't want to cinch it in. I wanted it to hang really loose because this was when it was really really cold, and I made this for my trip to Amsterdam, which was bloody freezing. I mean, I had the best time, but it was so cold and rainy the whole time. So I was really glad I had warm clothes, but I was wearing everything with polo neck jumpers underneath, thermal jumpers and thermal leggings and stuff, so I just wanted like a loose dress over the top. So the fabric is from Pound Fabrics. I think they might have still got some left, they had it for ages, and it reminded me of the pattern weights that I use, which are like those silver circular washers. So I'll call it my pattern weight dress. But yeah, I really like that one. Now I can't remember if I've already vlogged about this one, so if I have, then please just skip past this bit. This is another one that I'm really pleased with, and was one that I kind of added some modifications to, and the pattern is B6487. It's a Butterick pattern, and it's actually for a blouse, and as you can see, it's a high neck blouse with gathers at the neck and loose, are they called bishop sleeves? They're not enormous, they're not like as big as the ones that are sort of kind of quite popular at the moment, but they are loose bishop sleeves gathered into a cuff. I cut it off at the empire waist level and added a gathered skirt, and again, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this at the time, but it was inspired by this dress that Heidi Klum wore presenting a really old episode of Project Runway, and hers was made out of like a georgette, I think. It was a light fabric, a lightweight fabric, and it was black with yellow flowers on, and it was so nice, and it was pretty much exactly like this, and I loved it. I saw the gathers around the neck, and I put a call out on Instagram for people to come forward and suggest patterns that I could copy it from, and so I did, and I actually like managed to pull it off, and I was really pleased. And this was my toile. It's made from, the pattern is actually for wovens, but this was quite a stable knit, and so I thought I'd give it a go with this. The fabric is from Colville Fabrics, and it was, I think it was 3 meters for a tenner. But actually I really like the outcome, and I had in my mind that I would make a couple more, and I've got this, it's a polyester jersey with, it's kind of off-white with small irregular sort of black polka dots, and I really want to make it in that. I think it will look gorgeous in that, but that's just something that's in my sewing queue. But when I made this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to make loads of these, but then other projects come and leapfrog, don't they? But yeah, I'm really pleased with that one. So I think around this time, sort of December last year, I must have been on a bit of a roll with adding gathered skirts to things, because I did a couple more, and what I used for this, the fabric for this one is quite a thin jersey, but it's like a sweatshirting. It's got, the grey parts are like a sort of marl colour. I'm sorry about the shadows, by the way, it's starting to go dark outside. Actually, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there. So it's quite an interesting fabric, but it's not too heavy, so I thought it would be okay for a dress. So the pattern is actually the lion sweatshirt by I Am Patterns, and I've added a collar to it that's similar to the Tilly and the Buttons Clio roll, what do you call it, funnel neck collar, but I tend to wear it up. I like it like that. So that part's the lion pattern, and then I just added a gathered skirt to it, and it was supposed to be Empire line. I mean, I'm a bit over optimistic with my guessing, I think, because I think I just must have, I didn't measure my body, I think I must have just guessed. Anyway, then I tried it on, and instead of it sort of coming to just above my knee, it was like midi length, and I never ever wear that length, but I really liked it. And because it was pretty cold at that time of year, and I tried it on and I thought, actually this is quite toasty, so I've kept it that length, even though when I look at it on the dress form, it reminds me of nothing as much as Mrs. Danvers, who was in the film of the book by Daphne du Maurier, Rebecca, if you can remember that scary old black and white film. I look at it and I think Mrs. Danvers, but when I wear it, I like it. So and the other one that I made, very similar to that, I'm not going to bother putting it on the dress form, but it's the same pattern. It's got a whatchamacallit, just an ordinary crew neck and same sleeves, and in this case I did actually cut it off at the Empire waist, and it's got a gathered skirt, pockets, and this fabric is from Barry's, who runs a fabric stall on Norwich Market, and he's a really nice chap, very sort of knowledgeable about fabrics and stuff. And yeah, I just made it with this cute sweatshirting fabric, so it's just a nice warm wintry jersey dress. I've popped the overhead lights on. I don't know if they help any with the light. I hope it's a bit better. The next item that I sewed was this lovely tartan frock, and this was based, well, not based on, it is, the pattern is the Orla dress, which is a free pattern from French Navy now, and if you just Google Orla dress French Navy, you'll be able to find it. And what I did was I left the sleeves off and added that just on the outside, so it's just, the ruff is just a piece of, it's like a tube turned out, so it hasn't got a hem on it. And just decided where I wanted to apply it and just applied it directly on the outside. And I didn't bother, the pattern doesn't come with any facings, you just finish it with bias tape. So it's a pretty easy sew. The only thing that was difficult about it was obviously making it in tartan is a little bit time consuming because you have to mess about pattern matching. But I was really pleased with how it came out. The fabric is a wool, and it was stupidly cheap from FC Fabrics Studio. They do sell fabric on their website, but they have a warehouse sale every 3 to 4 months, and they discount everything massively. And they gave me this wool for I think £3 a metre, which I just think is mega good. So it is a little bit itchy, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to be wearing it without anything underneath it. It's a winter type dress, so I'm really happy with how it came out. I love the frill. Like, ruffles are a bit kind of, they're a bit fiddly, aren't they? A bit time consuming, but then, you know, if you're anything like me, once you've put them on, you really like them. I love a ruffle. You can't have enough ruffles, can you? I'm not going to put this one on the model because it's not really possible, but I'm going to post a picture of me wearing it. The pattern is Simplicity 1068, and it's one of those really uninspiring sort of basics. It's like, I don't know, 4 jersey skirts and 2 pairs of jersey sort of trousers, like pajama type trousers. Very simple pattern, but you know, I guess a lot of experienced sewists could just make a tube skirt, but it was handy for me because I didn't know what measurements I needed, and this one was fine. And I made it with this really heavy fleece-backed mall sweatshirting, which was from Abercan in Manchester. It's better. And it's so warm. If you want to wear a skirt out on a winter's day, it's so lovely. And that outfit that I'm wearing in the picture, where I paired it with the that's a ready-to-wear jumper from Primark, but the really bold black and white zigzag stripe. I really love that outfit. I think it looks great. I can't remember if I vlogged about this one. If I did, then I do apologise. But this next one I made way back in probably sort of October time. Look at that silhouette. It looks like some elephant ears, doesn't it? So it's a dress made out of some stretchy type digital print floral scuba from the textile centre, and the pattern is a vintage one, which I shall pop up because I can't remember the number, but it'd be difficult to get hold of anyway. My really good friend Sazzle, back in Sheffield, where I'm from, people always ask where I'm from, by the way, I'm from Sheffield. My really good friend Sazzle was in a shop, and she found loads of vintage patterns, and she WhatsApped me and she showed me all of them, and she let me choose some, bless her, and then she posted them down to me. One of them was this, and it had these lovely, amazing, big waffly sleeves, which are just like great big poofs, which I just thought were dead unusual and really quirky. And I actually resized the pattern down from, I think it was a 16. Obviously vintage sizes tend to come up a bit different anyway, but I usually find that I'm a like vintage size 12. So I had to size it down, and I also wanted to make it in a knit fabric without a zip, so I had to do quite a bit of sort of messing about to get it to the right size, but miraculously it worked. I left all the darts and shaping and everything in because I wanted the very fitted shape, and it really worked well. it really fits lovely. It's really nice. It's got this empire waist, which I'm obviously quite keen on. It's got a central seam, which sometimes I just do away with them if I can't see the point of them, but I decided that I wasn't certain enough about the pattern to do away with it, so I kept it in. But this pattern, fortunately, you can get away with not bothering with pattern matching. The only bit that was a bit of a hairy moment was on the can you see this neckband? I didn't want to use facings because I've learnt my lesson basically using facings on scuba or ponte. They just won't sit down. You can't get them to behave. I think I was going to put a band on, but that didn't work. Oh no, I was going to bind it. I was going to bind it with fold over elastic, but that looked absolutely shocking. So I ended up just folding it over and stitching it down, and it does stick out a bit, but you can't really notice it when you're wearing it. But there was a point at which I thought, oh my god, I've completely buggered this dress, like I've ruined it. But I got away with it. But I really like it. Again, this was a toile, and I fully intended to make it up in different fabric, and I've actually got it cut out in a black and white polka dot, another black and white polka dot scuba, and it's just waiting to be sewn up, so I need to get on that because I love this style of dress. Yeah, I love it. I'm really happy with that one. We've just got a couple more, and then you can go for your wee break. So this is the penultimate make that I've got to show you. It's a blouse, and I never really make blouses, and do you know what, I've never worn it, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't wear blouses. I don't go anywhere to wear them. But I bought this fabric from the textile centre, and it was when I started sewing, and I had no idea how much I would need, and it was 1.2 metres, and it's been sitting in my stash, and I love the colours. I love this peach together with the red, white and blue, and I've had no idea what to do with it because it's not really enough to make a dress out of. But because of I don't really wear, well, I probably would wear like a little pleated skirt, but I didn't want to mash up the pattern, so it was pretty limited what I was going to make with it. And then I got this pattern, and I'll post it because again, I don't know the number. It's a vintage pattern, and it was just this plain blouse with quite loose puffed sleeves, and I made it for the Great British Sewing Bee Cotton Week, which was the only week that I managed to participate in the sew along, unfortunately, but I wanted to join in. And yeah, it's really nice. It's kind of, I think it's the cotton sateen because it's got that slight sheen to it, and I really like it, but I just sort of wore it to try on, and then I just never picked it up again. So I'll probably be having a bit of a clear out at some point, and the Mind Shop in Camden will be getting the benefit of the stuff that I don't wear. But I think that when you're learning to sew, it's all about sort of finding your style, finding what works, what you want to spend your time on, and what, you know, like I think I've probably learned that I'd rather spend my time buying ready-to-wear t-shirts and sewing things that I can't buy in the shops, rather than making myself loads of t-shirts. This weekend I was going to sew some t-shirts, and I made one, and then I lost the will to live with it. I thought I'd rather be sewing something else, so I made this jumpsuit instead. Right, so final make coming up. Well done if you have made it this far. So we're on to the final make, and this striped beauty is the Vogue, hang on a tick, V1558 Rachel Comey design for Vogue, and I decided to make it in this polyester jersey, which is from Colville Fabrics, and I just loved the stripes because I thought they're so bold and different, and I thought, I still haven't unpicked the basting stitches, I keep on finding them. I thought that it would look great with these pleats. So the way it works is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 pleats on each side going into the waist on the bodice, and then another 3 on the skirt, and then I'll just turn it round. You've got the same on the back, so it's mirrored on the back, and it's got a raglan sleeve, and a stand collar. I think what they call a mock neck in America. I don't know, I could just call it a turtleneck. I don't know why I don't like it. I think it's just maybe too much, and it takes a lot for me to say that something is too much. No, I thought that it'd give this amazing kind of starburst detail, and it does look like that, but I think it just looks hectic instead of kind of cool, which I'd hoped it does. I have to say, I don't like sleeves when they are gathered into elastic. I like them to be gathered into a cuff, and I know it looks bad that I've used black stitching there, but to be honest, with this fabric, anything that you use really shows. If I'd used red might not have been too bad, but white would have really stood out as well. I think by this point I was getting so fed up with it because the fabric was difficult to work with. I was trying to pattern match, and I put this on Instagram and people were kind of saying to me, oh, you know, it would have looked better if you'd pattern matched. Honestly, I pattern matched my arse out of this dress. But the problem is, if you match the stripes going down the bodice, it's fine, and then you have to, and then you pleat it, and the pleats don't necessarily match with the width of the stripes on the fabric. I'm not explaining it very well. Just rest assured, it was a complete pig to do, and I kind of got a bit fed up with it, and I've just never worn it. Anyway, some ups and some downs, hits and misses as ever in my sew and tell, but I hope you've enjoyed catching up on everything that I've made in the last few months, and I hope you'll join me for the next video. Please, if you like what I've said, give me your views on things in the comments. Just keep it nice. Don't tell me that anything's crap, because I don't want to hear that. If you've got nice positive things to say, then please do put them downstairs in my downstairs, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a great week. The weather's looking nice, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.